right, so for our online learning experience, we are using curriculum programs through Schools PLP and Apex. If you are taking an AP course, you will be logging in through Apex. That's with the exception of, I believe it's Calculus BC, I believe. That's on Schools PLP. So for the majority of classes that you will take, they're going to happen through Schools PLP. I'll show you an image of how that will appear when you sign in and work on your classes. So currently, let's say I am in Miss Brewer's 4th Bell class. This is how it shows up on my screen. Miss Brewer is going to assign work weekly, and I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to submit it. And so that's how this works. I'll get links with assignments. So Miss Brewer is a Mason High School teacher. She's teaching online, and she's assigning work through these programs, Schools PLP, and if it was an AP class, through Apex. Okay. Now, I want to show you how scheduling works. Okay, so what's a typical day going to look like? Here's how a typical day is going to look. You can go to Schedule, and I'll send you this link to this website. You can go to Schedule and Typical Week. Now, for a typical week, this is it. You're going to wake up in the morning from 7:05 to 8 o'clock, and it is your time to check Schools PLP, some messages that might be in there, to check your email, to check Schoology. Now, Schoology, we're not learning through Schoology. You're not graded through Schoology, but that's going to give you updates about what's going on in the high school. And then these blue boxes, these signal some live learning times. These are going to be for your core classes, English, social studies, science, and math. So when you look at your schedule with all your teachers and you're sitting down in the morning to plan your day, you're going to look and see, okay, what bells are live on Monday? Here they are. And then if it's Tuesday, what bells are live that day? We skip that on Wednesday, which I'll explain. Okay, what bells are live Thursday? What bells are live Friday? Now, in order to get into that live class that your teacher is hosting, you're going to go to the top of our screen and go to Courses. If it's a math class, we'll click into Math. Little nice introduction video from your teacher welcoming you to their course, and you will click into their course. Going back to our schedule, not every teacher might not all have a live class during these bells. So it's important to check your messages and email as well as the week's learning plan to know what bells you're expected to sign into. At 10:50, it is now your time to sign into, and I'll go back so you can see it. It will be your time to sign in to Schools PLP and or Apex to work on your work. I'll go back to our schedule. We call that asynchronous time. That means you're learning at your own pace, working on your courses. If you have an IEP or if you receive English language learning support, your teachers might also schedule meetings with here, and you can reach out to them as well. Green, you will not have live meetings with your instructors, but they may schedule some with you. There's one other thing I want to point out on your schedule. It's called Comet Connection. For Comet Connection, you're going to meet with a coach. They're in your bell schedule, and whenever they show up in one of these every 2-day rotations, you will go to their connection. They will also schedule a weekly or every other week meeting with you. You can get to them either in the coaches tab or the student support tab. They're there to help make sure that you're doing okay and making sure that you're supported in your online learning journey. If you have any holes in your schedule, meaning you don't have a bell 1 or you don't have a bell 14 or 15, you don't have to go to those for the virtual sessions. Also, if you have an elective on your schedule, you do not have to attend one of these virtual sessions because electives do not have instructors over them. Your coach will check in on your progress, but they don't have instructors over them. So that's a typical day. That's a typical week. Couple other things on this site to help you out. These are also links for paraprofessionals, English learning support, intervention specialists. Your coaches are in here. And if you need to get in touch with an online coordinator or administrator, some policies, attendance. You will be marked present, and as long as you are attending any sessions that your teachers are assigning, as well as your coaches, that if you have a meeting with your intervention specialist or English language learning support educator, that you're attending those and that you're making progress in your courses. If you're not making progress, you're not attending your meetings, it will be an absence. If you know you're going to be absent, you know you're not going to be able to make progress for a day or attend a session, let's say for a half day or a whole day, you can mark that by following our attendance policy in our tab here. There's a couple other important things on our homepage that you can go to. I'm going to make a weekly update or weekly newsletter. If you ever want to review this orientation, if you're having some account trouble or need some technical assistance, you can find that here. 2 examples of that. When you initially sign in to Schools PLP, you're going to notice that there are these messages, and you might not be able to click out of these. It won't let you click out. There's dots right here. You got to click into every message and say that you read it. Another issue, when you go to sign into a Zoom meeting, let's say you're meeting with a teacher, and so for example, I'm going to our teachers tab up top. I'm going to meet with my math teacher. I'm in their geometry class. Sometimes when you click that button, it won't let you in. It'll say, you need to authenticate. If you need to authenticate, there's a video in there for what you need to do. But I would encourage you to do this right now. Go to zoom.us, click sign in or my account. Make sure that you sign in with Google and go to the bottom where it says sign in with Google, and it will authenticate your school account. Then you can attend your teacher's Zoom sessions. Other than that, a couple other things on the home page. We have some parent guardian support for how to support your learner at home, some mental health resources, articles, some activities, as well as contacts. We have some virtual hallways I'm going to try to continue regularly, and our links to get into our learning platforms. Thanks for joining us. Okay, buddy, what questions do you have after that?